What is up, everybody? This is Jake with the Evolve Your Fitness podcast, and this week we have Ryan, Muay Thai Rai, ex-member of our gym. Used to go, and then he moved to Miami to start his own Muay Thai gym. So, Ryan, thanks for coming on.
No worries, Jake. Thanks for having me.
What's happening?
Not much. Same old, same old. Beautiful day here in Florida. Sun is shining, nice and bright. Way better than Illinois, I'll say that much.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's beautiful up here right now. This is the perfect time. It's like 70 degrees right now.
Mm-hmm. I just don't miss those parking lot runs or whatever, the sled pulls or whatever that we used to do.
Cry about everything. You should be crying about the barbell. That's what your biggest problem. Did you work out today yet?
Yeah, I did. I just got done running.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
4 miles, 8:30 pace. So you can chill, bro. You always give me shit how slow I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and then we got classes later tonight at 6 to 9. So I'll be able to move around a little bit there. But you know how it is when you teach classes, you really don't break a sweat.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. Yours is a little bit different than mine because sometimes you guys participate, but are you fully teaching? You're not participating in any of the classes?
I'm fully teaching. So I got like a 30-minute intro and then 2 classes. So I got like a bag class and then advanced for our like competitors and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When do you get to do your own kickboxing workouts then?
It doesn't happen very much when I can make the time.
Okay.
I'll like train with our team when we have like our sparring days. So like Wednesday and Saturday, Friday, and then here and there. So I'll get some training in with one of our coaches will hold pads for me or something like that, or I'll hit the bag. So I at least
get 2 solid sessions in then.
Yeah.
You combine that with your speed walking. That's decent.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a beast. Better watch out. Let me catch up to you.
Yeah. Oh, you might be faster than me right now. I haven't been doing much running. I'm a little slow. But let's see here. I'm trying to think of where to start off at. Well, how do we know each other? I guess we'll start with that.
Yeah. Well, we used to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu together. Funny enough.
Solid 3 classes together.
Solid like 3 classes together. Nah, man, it was like a whole summer. It was the COVID times. We gave each other COVID, remember?
Man, I can't remember you doing that many classes, but
it was with Trevor.
Okay. Right.
Yes, yeah. And then I met you there. You had a gym down the street. My scrawny ass needed to put on some muscle, so I came by, lifted some weights, and then I figured out how unbearable you are, so I ended up
moving to Miami.
Yeah, get as far away from you as possible.
It's not working out very well. I still have to leave from afar. Let me think here. So you primarily did Muay Thai, and
yes.
For those who don't know what Muay Thai is, or really just kickboxing, I guess let's break it down.
It's an easy blanket term. Yeah. So actually, we both started training at the same gym. I started training just boxing when I was like 15 or 16 years old. Trained for a while, had my whole weight loss transformation, had my first fight when I was 19. And then I picked up kickboxing when I was like 22 and then kind of fell in love with it then. And then started fighting in kickboxing, started doing Muay Thai, went to Thailand for a while to train and I fought out there for a while. So I had a pretty long amateur career and I've had about 45 amateur fights and then about 8 or 9 professional fights over the years. So it's been about 16 years of training since I started.
Awesome. And you and our mutual friend Nick Paul, you guys start at the same time?
Yeah. He picked Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I picked the striking. So it's kind of funny.
The plan was like for both of you to be like MMA champions, right? And then Nick realized he didn't like getting punched in the face, and you realized you didn't really like rolling around with sweaty guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
If you would have put us together, we would have been Khabib 2.0 or something.
Yeah, there you go. I remember him talking this story about he like got punched in the face one time, and he was this isn't for me.
you look at him, and then he would just start bleeding.
Yeah.
And you just start bleeding. I'm just like, this is not fun.
That's hilarious. So let's back it up even before that. Then you said you lost weight loss transformation.
Yeah.
What? Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up, I wasn't like, as we all are kids, I wasn't like the most health conscious, healthy kid. So I was like slamming Mountain Dews and eating frozen pizzas on the regular. So that tends to add some pounds after some time. And, playing sports in like middle school, high school, like baseball, it's a very inactive sport. So it was easy for me to get a little bigger. So I don't know what got me into it. I saw something and then I wanted to try like some type of martial art. Actually, first class I ever took was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class. And then I ended up trying a boxing class and I just like fell in love with it and then trained pretty consistently. And then over like 3 years, I lost about 50, 60 pounds. So if I was around 220 pounds and then got to about like 160, 165. So
cool. Yeah. And what sports did you play in high school?
Baseball and basketball.
Okay. Did you play those all 4 years or?
No, I only played baseball 2 years. And then after my sophomore year, that's when I picked up like training a little bit more seriously.
Okay.
It broke my dad's heart because he was a baseball coach my entire life. But obviously,
really?
Yeah, fighting got me a little bit further than playing 4 years in high school. So
yeah.
And I wasn't the best athlete. I wasn't a very good athlete at all. So I had to kind of figure that out on the go.
Well, that's I mean, I don't know. Being a good athlete, right, is I don't know. That's a lot of people put themselves into that, but clearly you did all right with kickboxing, right?
Yeah, figured it out.
There's also things that you probably learned in baseball that transferred over into boxing, like
so much.
Throwing a ball and throwing a punch are very,
very similar. Swinging a bat, throwing a left hook, it's the same thing, same motion.
Ah, yeah, I never even thought about that. I used to, me and a buddy that I worked with at Menards used to go out to the bars, and we were both baseball players, played a little bit of baseball in college, and we would go and do the punching machines and bet people.
Yeah,
and we were both really small, but like actually knew how to use our hips, Oh man, we would clean up. It was awesome. Not that those machines are the most accurate things in the world. No. It's a little bit of an intelligence test combined with knowing how to throw a punch. But
yeah.
So cool. So you started your journey with that then at No Joke?
Yeah, that was my first gym I trained at. So when I lived in Illinois, that's where I primarily trained. Obviously, I would go to other places to like for sparring and stuff like that, but that's primarily where I started. Where I pretty much learned my ones and twos,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up training there for like 12 years, 14 years, and ended up teaching classes, led the Muay Thai program there for a while. So
awesome. And then you were in the military too, right?
Yeah. I was in the National Guard for 6 years.
Okay.
So from 2013 to 2019.
Okay. So, I'm trying to think of who. Do you know who your recruiter was?
Yeah, Benjamin Fraser. He tricked me.
I'm trying to think. I have a friend that's Andrea Bell. Do you know who that is?
No.
I'm not sure if she's National Guard or Army Reserves. I always get those two confused. It's too complicated for my brain, apparently. But
yeah. It's too complicated for your brain, apparently.
Oh man. So let's see here. And then, did you get deployed at all when you were in the military?
No. So I don't know what if you call it lucky or good timing. So my unit was getting deployed to Kuwait right when my contract was ending. So I liked the option to go or stay, but I ended up leaving because I wanted to go to Thailand to train Muay Thai. So I ended up in Thailand instead of going to Kuwait, which was a good decision, I think.
Yeah. How long did you stay in Thailand?
6 months. My plan was to go a little bit longer, but this was in 2019 and 2020, and a little something called COVID happened. So
That's right.
everyone thought the world was ending. So
Yeah.
came back in like late March.
Didn't you get an infection over there too?
No. That was in Mexico. I got yeah. That was before. That was after.
Okay. So you came back, and then a little bit later, then you went to Mexico and trained there.
Yes, yeah. So I got a sponsorship to be a sponsored fighter at a gym in Tulum, Mexico. So I was a trainer and a sponsored fighter there as well. So I was there for probably like 5 months as well, and then came back here, and then for back to Illinois for a little bit. Was training with you, and then moved down to Miami after that and opened the gym.
Yeah. When did you move down to Miami? Was that 2023?
Yeah, in October.
Okay.
Yeah, so late 2023.
All right. So you're going on 3 years already, man.
Yeah, I know.
I guess we've had like 3 different gym renditions now by that point.
I know. Every time I look, you guys are adding another room.
Yeah. Yeah. We change things kind of often. It's been the same for a while. I kind of I finally reached a point where I'm like, okay, I'm happy with where we're at for now. But there's always something. I'm sure something will come up. All right. So what's your biggest lessons you've learned out of being into kickboxing and Muay Thai and such?
Yeah, it's just persistence, just getting consistency, right? So you start off with anything, sorry, and you're gonna suck at it no matter what. So there's a great lesson in continuing to show up and just putting in reps to get better, right? It just doesn't come overnight. People get very, very frustrated when it doesn't come to them easy. So the delayed gratification is nice because you can see some people learn things faster than others. I'm sure you see this too. People are a little bit more gifted in the way they move their body than others. So I think just the power of repetition and continuing to show up is good. And that's applied to so many things in my life, professionally, in relationships, and obviously sport as well.
Yeah. Why do you think that you took to that better than say baseball? Because it's like it seems like it's, if you're a bad athlete, like you self-proclaim,
I'd be good at baseball, right? Yeah.
Being bad at a martial art or a fight sport is a lot more painful than being bad at baseball.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fact that like baseball, it's a team sport, right? So it's not like when you're fighting, it's just you. You have no one else to blame. Yeah, you can blame your coach or you can blame whatever, but it's you're the one that's fighting, not your coach. So it all eventually falls on your shoulders.
Okay. Yeah, so that you just like the fact that it was just on yourself, or
yeah, exactly. And then you just got to continue to show up for yourself, because I know in the back of my head, if I'm not showing up and putting in the extra work, maybe my opponent is, and that creates some type of doubt in your head. So I think just being able to continue to show up for yourself is important.
Okay. So I know, like in jiu-jitsu, you hit your first move, you get one move that you're really good at.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that you're like you got good at in Muay Thai that you were like, oh shit, I could do this maybe?
Yeah. Well, it was my first fight. It was a boxing fight. So we had a USA boxing sanctioned fight, like outside of the gym. And for the longest time, the owner, Rich, didn't want me to fight because starting out, I was a bit of a wimp, right? We would spar.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to lose a client when he gets beat up.
Yeah, I don't want him to get beat up and then quit.
Yeah.
I get it. But the rest of the team was like training for this fight, and I really wanted to do it. So I was determined. I was showing up a lot, and I was sparring with someone that was training for this competition, and I dropped them with a punch. So I actually, like, in a sparring match, I hit them, and then they fell down. And then he's like, "Oh, I guess you're ready."
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't recommend that to someone, right? Don't like hurt your training partners because that's a dick move, but that's how I kind of figured it
But
out. So,
yeah, that was
and,
your moment.
yeah. And then I went into the fight and I smoked this. I was like 18 or 19. I was skin and bones. I looked like a dweeb, and I beat up this grown man, and it was pretty cool. So that's kind of like the moment I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. Like,
So
I
now
think I can
things
do this.
changed then, huh?
Yeah, man, my mindset changed a little bit. And then when I continued to fight, my first 5 or 6 fights I won. So I was like, okay, I can really do this. So I just continued with it. And yeah.
What do you think led to you being able to smoke this 80-year-old man?
He was an 80. All right.
What do you think because you weren't sure if you were ready? Do you think you just put in a lot more time, or or you just had a gift for it that you didn't think you had?
Yeah, I think I trained hard for it, and I had a conscious moment where I'm just like the fight or flight, and I just chose the fight, and I ended up on the winning side of it. So
yeah,
so
that's awesome. No, that's impressive. Like I don't think people realize I talk about fight or flight with a lot of my cop clients, and everybody in their head thinks they're a fighter.
Yeah.
Right. And based on whatever, but when you get into those moments, not everybody is a fighter, and they don't respond that way. So it is a thing that you have to find out about yourself. And it's not really a right or wrong, right? But it's good to know that about yourself, and good to be able to fight when you can. Also smart to flight when you need to as well, probably.
No need to fight when 3 guys have a knife.
Yeah. I mean, winning a fight, even
a fight with rules is cool. Yeah, that's probably the safest place you could do that. Yeah. If there's a referee looking out for your safety, I wouldn't advise that elsewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even winning a fight sometimes hurts, right? Like
sure.
even if you're outmatch your opponent, whether it's streets or regular, you're always going to come away not feeling the best. Now, victory tastes pretty sweet, but
it eases the pain a little bit, but it still hurts the next day.
Cool. What? Tell me about a time where you might have thought about say. Well, here, I'll give you an example. For me, when I first started jiu-jitsu, it was like just me and Trevor half the time.
Yeah, that's great.
And at the time, Trevor was like 270, and I would just I had no skill. I would just, frantically try to push him off me.
You're trying to bicep curl him off of you.
Yeah, and then be exhausted. And Trevor weighed like 270. He would just like flatten me, and I'd get like super, what's it called, when claustrophobic. And I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like, this is rough. And I talked to him, and he's like, oh, you just don't know how to do this, this, and this. And so he like spent some time teaching me, and then also times like getting me exhausted, and then, putting all his weight on top of me and getting me to like stay calm and figure out my way out. Did you have any moments like that in kickboxing?
Yeah. So like training, what I like to do before if I'm competing, I like to put myself in like a Shark Tank. That's where you have a bunch of training partners, and you stay in each round. There's a new fresh person, but you stay in every round. So that's just a way of preparing for the worst. You're obviously not going to win if you're doing five rounds with a fresh person every round. Mm-hmm. Their energy is going to be way higher than yours. So you're fighting an uphill battle. Just to prepare your mind to be able to fight through whatever adversity might come towards you. And then coming out on the good side of that, not like unscathed, obviously, because you're going to get beat up during that. Obviously, their trained partners are going to hurt you, but they're not going to be nice. So coming out of those situations before matches it boosts your confidence. So, yeah.
Awesome. Have you ever had any times where you were like, I'm not sure if I'm cut out for this, or
I mean, of course,
losses that shake you or something like that?
I mean, when you fight long enough, you have big wins, big losses. And I mean, I just always knew not to give up on myself, and that I could always, and one fight doesn't define you, right? So it's like throughout a whole career. Like I've had really good wins, I've had really bad losses, but not one of those fights makes me who I am as a fighter. So the past is the past, you can't change it. So I just move on.
Yeah, cool. What's your favorite win that you've ever had?
Yeah, I fought in Thailand. I fought at Rajadamnern Stadium, which is it's the first stadium ever built for Muay Thai, and it is the most prestigious place you could fight in the world. And I ended up fighting this guy. I actually had a terrible experience before the fight, so that's what made it so cool. So I was cutting weight, and I ended up in Thailand how you cut weight. So obviously when you fight, you don't fight at the weight you just normally weigh. In Thailand at these stadiums, you weigh in at the morning, probably 6 a.m. And then you fight at maybe 7, 8 p.m. the same day. So you cut weight to be a little bit more bigger, right? To have a little bit of advantage following. So how you cut weight in Thailand is it's hot, right? It's humid. You put a sweatsuit on. You put the Thai oil on, which is like Bengay, I guess. You rub it on, and then your body gets hot, and you go for a run. In the middle of the day. It's 100 degrees. And then you just walk back, and you keep the suit on for an hour or two just to drain all the water out. So the last day before my fight, I'm doing this sauna suit run. I'm with somebody, just for safety, obviously. I don't want to pass out. I passed out. I was running, I got lightheaded, and I sat down, and I passed out.
Oh, my God.
And the day before I was supposed to fight. And this person spoke Thai. This person with a motorbike came by. They drove me to the gym, and I just kind of sat there. I continued the weight cut. I was fine. Continued the weight cut. Weighed in the next day, made weight. But in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, I just passed out yesterday from cutting weight. I'm going to be so tired. And these fights are 5 rounds, and they're 3 minutes. So I'm just like, fuck, this is a long time too. So I was worried about it. And then I was fighting this guy, this foreign guy. And weighed in, did everything. And we fought, and I smoked the guy. So I went the full 5 rounds, and I won pretty easily. And so it was a crazy experience. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's, I can't imagine passing out the day before.
Yeah, I figured out, put some isomine back in my neck. I was obviously not feeling the best, but that's something I don't want to ever experience again, cutting weight, right? It sucks. But so figured out, fought the next day and won. So,
and then, so you said you weigh in at 6 a.m. the morning of?
Yeah, every promotion, I guess, is different. Some places you weigh in the day before. Sometimes you weigh the same day. Sometimes you weigh in 3 hours before. So how you cut weight is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess switching gears really quick, because I know you're short on time.
No, hold on. I think I can push it back. No. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's see here. You went to Thailand, and you came home, and you went to Mexico. When was your last professional fight? I think I remember. I think I streamed it, if I recall.
Yeah. It was in July of 2023, so about 3 years ago. It was in New York City.
Okay. Yeah.
In Queens.
And, that was a pretty big promotion, right?
Yeah. So it was. So it was for the Warriors Cup, which is in Muay Thai in America. It's probably the top 3 promotions, and they're a feeder to one championship in Asia.
Oh, okay.
It would have been really cool if I would have won. Obviously, if I would have won the fight, I lost. But if I would have won the fight, I would have got put in a tournament for one championship in Asia, or a 4-man tournament. But
which is really, for people who don't know, that's a pretty big promotion. Probably the
biggest. Yeah.
Biggest for kickboxing, right? Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Because are they part of One actually does a ton of different promotions, right? They do like straight jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
kickboxing.
They do
and
MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai. They do Muay Thai with MMA gloves. They do kickboxing with the boxing gloves. They do grappling, and they do MMA as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and if I recall in that fight, you got hit pretty early, right, and messed up your nose a little bit, right?
Yeah. I had a terrible first round. I got cut, and then I got my nose broken. I was like, fuck, this sucks. So I'm just bleeding all over myself. And then I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to try and knock him out. So, and then I went to the next round. I did really, really good and ended up, we went the full distance, right? But ended up losing on the scorecards, which was fine. There was no like knockdowns or anything. It was just, I got appointed. I was fighting in a hometown. I was fighting a guy from New York.
Okay.
Yeah, just lost on the cards. That happens.
Well, that's tough. Tough when that happens that early too, right? Because other than your confidence being a little bit shaken, it's hard to breathe, right?
A little bit.
And everything else, right? If I recall, I can remember it just being hard, a challenge to get a rhythm after that, and and it was, he wasn't making any strides against you at that point, but like one round could be the difference, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, no, that was exciting to watch. I remember watching it. I'm trying to think. I think. I don't remember exactly what happened. Because I can remember checking my phone in the middle of the night. I think because I couldn't sleep because we like signed it up, and then I realized, oh my god, this is going to be really late.
Last fight, out of like 20. So it was. Yeah, that sucks waiting that long. It's just like, I just want to get this over with. So you sit there, you're waiting, you're anxious, you warm up, you're waiting, and that's all right. Let's go.
Yeah. And you said that was in 2023.
Yeah.
In what month?
I think it was June or July. It was in the summer.
Okay.
I remember being hot. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. We may have had Eaton then or not. I'm not sure. If it was in July, we did. If not, Ashley was very, very pregnant. So, yeah. Anyways, so you moved down to Miami. You started gym down there. Tell me a little bit about that journey.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, we both training at the same place. The owner changed, and then we were just talking. They're like, "Oh, like let's just start our own thing." And he was my training partner when I lived down here some time ago. And I was like, "Yeah, sounds good." And I like living here in Florida, so. We started the gym, Vice City Striking, and so we started out just renting some space from a friend who owned a gym as well. Had classes like 5 days a week, just like a class a day, class or two a day, and then we offer something for everybody. So people are just coming in, like me when I started, that just wants to come in, lose some weight, pick up an activity or a new hobby. Or just learn how to defend themselves. So we have beginner classes. We have people that compete, and as far as like sparring classes where we're beating each other up a little bit. But everything is, just rooted in having good technique and building a good community. So rented out some space from a friend for about a year. We got pretty big, and then we're like, okay, let's get our own space. So we ended up finding a warehouse unit and renting that out. It's about 1,300 square feet. And we've been there for about 2.5 years now. And now we're at the point where we need to get a little bigger space because classes are always full. So, and it's been good. So we've had people fight throughout the years and win fights, lose fights. It's been honestly cool to have people lose tons of weight, gain confidence, all that. So it's really cool. It's really cool. It's a lot of work, obviously. I'm sure you know. And then just dealing with people at sometimes kind of sucks. But the good outweighs the bad. So
It's so. Your beginner classes are those like non-sparring classes?
Yeah. It's like technique classes and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we kind of have like 3 buckets of classes. We have like we call it pads and bags. So it's like that's where we're not making contact with each other. We're just hitting things. So like either that's hitting the bag or we're holding the pads for each other. And then we have the second portion, which is our drilling classes. So that's where we wear our gloves, our shin guards. We're doing drills on each other, different scenarios, working defense. So there is some like contact, but we're not like obviously trying to hit each other in the head or anything like that. And then we have our sparring classes. So that's where, we go over like sparring drills, and like there's some like replicated, I guess, fighting, right? So we're punching and kicking each other with control, and where everyone's, doing that. Our most popular class is sparring. Everyone just wants to come to sparring class. No one wants to learn technique, for what it seems. So I give people shit all the time. I'm just like, you guys want to get better at sparring? Come to technique class.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I suppose being in Miami, your clientele's probably fairly young.
Yes and no. I mean, we have obviously our ideal client is, male from 16 to 35, but we have a good community of females as well. Probably about 30% of the gym is females. We also offer like a female class, but yeah, it's young guys and girls coming in to compete. Not everyone's coming to compete, but that are training and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that's pretty young. Like, to give you an idea, our average age at our gym is like 47.
Oh
wow. Like your average age is like, if you were to say it was old, you'd be like, what, 27?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, younger people like to throw down like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit. That's a hurdle. Do you guys do anything like you have to hit so many pads and bag sessions a week as opposed to just sparring or anything like that? Or
no, that's a great idea. People mix it up a little bit, but like for the sparring classes, you need to have some type of skill before you can come in. So those require either a coach's approval before they can come in and start sparring. And then we have the sparring classes broken up too by like intensity. So we have like more of an all levels sparring class where we do drills in the first 20 minutes of class. Then we kind of work our way into like modified stuff, modified like sparring rounds. And we have like a fight team training, which is a little bit, I guess, more intense.
Yeah. So you don't want to not, that sounds like something you do not want to do when you're not prepared for it.
It's just a terrible way for you to be safe and then have safety for the other people. Honestly, one of the most dangerous people that you're sparring with is the new person, because they don't know how to control themselves. And yeah, that's the easiest way to get hurt.
Yeah, no, it's the same way it was in jiu-jitsu, right? The old white belt world championship.
Yeah. Spasm.
Yeah. No, it's I feel like it's maybe it isn't, because I guess you're not hitting as hard as you can in sparring. So people who are newer don't know to pull back. Although I do feel like if you're newer, well, depending on who you're facing, if you're newer at striking, you're probably going to get the worst of it.
For sure. And then I have to like reel back my more experienced members. I'm like, this guy's new, like he doesn't know any better. Like, don't hurt him. Bad for business when everyone's getting a broken nose and then they're quitting.
Oh man, you don't have a Nate in there just to set the precedent right away.
No. We do. We have a few.
I mean, you kind of need it sometimes.
For sure. Yeah,
right. For people who don't know, there's always
an enforcer.
In jiu-jitsu, there's always a guy who's like an enforcer. When you get somebody who shows up a little wild and they like to beat up on, I don't know, I would say people of probably weaker physical attributes than them, right? And they'll be, they'll be a little wild and kind of be a bit of a bully, sometimes without knowing. But when that happens, you send in the guy who's considered the enforcer, and kind of lets the person know what that feels like on the opposite end of the spectrum. Right. Usually it creates like a little bit of self-awareness happens.
Yeah.
So that sounds painful in striking, though.
Well,
it might only take one shot to
Yeah. Well, yeah, there are times where you just like have to hit him in the body real good once and tell him to chill out, and that's that.
Yeah,
But before every time we spar, we have like a safety brief where I'm just like, hey, this is the expectation. Don't go crazy. None of y'all are winning championships or titles today. We're just trying to get better, right? So everything's done with control and stuff like that. People are 95% of the time are good, and
yeah,
really don't have to. I mean, we're not like playing golf, right? We're punching and kicking each other. Accidents are going to happen, right?
mm-hmm.
But when
Yeah,
it's the same person over and over and over again, it kind of narrows it down. So, but yeah, it's kind of a crazy business, right? People pay me and I get to punch them in the head. So,
yeah. It's and combat sports are unique in the way that you can be as physically gifted as you want. And we encounter this a lot in CrossFit too, just because there's so many different modalities. But nobody has become really good at combat sports without taking some ass whoopings along the way.
of course,
Yeah. So it humbles you up naturally, which is why people say so often that people who do combat sports are very humble. That's not always completely true, but
good for you.
yeah, you have to be very, very obtuse to
Yeah,
make it through. Of course, I never got really very good either, so that might be the problem. But yeah, it's a humbling experience all the way through, both physically and mentally. Whereas sometimes in other sports you can kind of hide from that,
right.
But there's nothing getting physically dominated by another human.
Yeah, it's the biggest, best ego death you could ever experience.
Yeah, it's really hard to just brush off and be like, no, that was because the mat was slippery.
I didn't drink enough water today.
Yeah. That'll be my excuse every day for not. I cut weight yesterday and I actually passed out. So that's what happened. Do you guys do kids classes there?
Yeah, so we have a kids class 1 day a week. With something we want to look at expanding. We have 1 day a week. So it's kind of a wide range. It's kind of crazy. It's like from 4 to 11. So it's a newer program. But we have a good amount of kids, anywhere from like 4 to 8 that'll come.
Okay.
So that's good to get people started on the right path, and screening. Like everything in our gym right now is just like gaining traction. So we're feeling growing pains, right? So, which is a problem, but it's a good problem. So rather than like trying to figure out how to get people there, just like, shit, where do we put everybody?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's I ask because we're currently looking into getting the boys involved in some sort of martial art, and we've got No Joke right down the street.
Yeah.
And I think their kids program starts at 4. I have yet to. I told Tony I was going to go over there and talk to him about it, but I want to get them involved in that.
Great for the coordination and balance, all that stuff.
Yeah, like confidence too. I feel like defending yourself is kind of like swimming. Like you don't need to use it daily, but if a situation arises that you need it, it's really good to have. And I never want either one of my kids to be in a position where, say somebody is a bully or whatever and wants to fight them, and they have to scamper off because they're too afraid of it. I'd rather have it be a situation where they know they can handle themselves and they choose not to fight, as opposed to being too scared to, or knowing that it will most definitely not go their way.
Right. Exactly. You gotta stand up for yourself sometimes. Obviously, you want to de-escalate those situations. Like me, I've had like 50 fights with rules, right? Muay Thai, kickboxing, and fights, but I've never had any serious altercation outside of it. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's I always think of one of my favorite stories. I think like they tell on the Joe Rogan podcast is, and I could be totally wrong on the names of this. Actually, I won't even go into any of the names. But there's like a high profile NFL player that was at a party in like maybe California or something, and he bumped into I believe it was Bas Rutten.
Oh yeah.
Right, and he was like drunk, obviously, at parties. And he kind of, Basarun's big. He's big. He's used to being, the tough guy because he's an NFL player. And he was like, what's your problem? And, Basarun, who, if anybody doesn't know, was like a heavyweight world championship fighter in MMA. And the guy was like, oh, no problem. And he's like, do you want to step outside? And Basarun was kind of like, well, no, not particularly, but we can if needed. And like just that ability to be like, no, I don't feel like fighting you, but if you want to, sure. I'll be your Huckleberry. I think that's good for everybody to have. It just It makes life so you feel like you're in control, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I said, even when winning fights, you're still something's gonna hurt. You're always at risk. So
for sure.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, I'll let you go. I know you got some meetings and stuff. I forgot to show that I too am repping my Vice City Striking shirt.
Yeah. You finally knocked the dust off of it and put it on for the first time.
Dude, I probably wear this thing. I wouldn't say once a week, but once every 2 weeks.
There we go.
So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have too many JD Fit shirts. I have Broathlon shirts. And I just don't know what to do. I think some of them. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are probably in my heavy bags right now because I have this stuff. But they're still with me.
Oh man, remember the Broathlon? Remember how mad you were?
No, I don't.
I do.
The past is the past.
Yeah, I remember. You were mad. It happens. That was a hard event. It was. I
don't even remember what happened, but yeah, I remember always.
I can't. I think you just had a problem with one of the weights. Like it didn't. It just was giving you a hard time, and
impossible. Too strong.
You just wanted to get through it and get to the run, and it was. It had something else to say about it. So anyways, I guess I will let you go. Thanks for coming on, man.
No worries.
If people want to find your gym, what's
you can find us on Instagram, Vice City Striking, Google. You can message me on Instagram, Muay Harry, Muay Thai Rai. Sorry, I forgot which one it is. Either it's Muay Harry, it's Muay Harry. That's how to find us.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you having you on. I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, you too, man. Bye.
See you, buddy.